Hey, welcome to the show. I hope y'all enjoy buttered sausage, okay? I hope you really like buttered sausage, because there's going to be a lot of it. It's not an analogy for what's expected, but it's actual buttered sausage. So don't forget to butter your sausage, if you know what I mean. I have been nominated by former and future president and current president-elect Donald Trump to be Deputy Minister of Buttered Sausage Czar. And I think it's all going to work out. Buttered sausage. Heavens, it's tasty. Now, on with the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up.
And don't forget to hit the thumbs up for buttered sausage.
At this point, I don't think anybody would be surprised at all if Donald Trump appointed Gary Busey to run something. Because could it possibly get any worse?
I don't think so. I think it'd be kind of awesome if I really think about it. I would like to be the ambassador to buttered sausage.
Sorry. We are in this weird moment. And by the way, welcome to Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm your host, Hal Sparks. Don't forget, we have a podcast as well, the Hal Sparks Podcast Mega Worldwide. Where does he come up with the names of these shows?
I think he dreams them. I think they come to him in a dream from the other side. And I can see them. I can see the other side. Okay.
That's just how we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Absurdity will be our friend, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, absurdity. One man's absurdity is another man's freedom fighter. Sure, why not?
While you're at it, though, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you're a maggot troll. Welcome. I know other shows and Blue Sky make you feel unwanted. I don't want that for you. I want you to be here so we can mute you. No, I want you to be here strictly so that you can boost me in the algorithm through your blather. Everything you're doing on here is what I'm trying to discourage my viewers from doing on Shitter, aka Twitter, aka X. Put the X, Xi Jinping X pronunciation with Twitter, you get Shitter. Makes total sense. Okay.
You are my density. Hey, I was up for that part and I didn't get it because my head was too big. True story.
So, anyways, we got a lot to cover today, but first of all, we got to say hello to the chat room. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the chat room. Hi, guys. I called the chitter, and I'm gone. Nice. I will be done by the end of the week, as delete tweet is taking its fucking sweet time, pulling down all my tweets. I don't know what the hang up is. I've had to restart it twice. It's a lot. I've been talking a lot of shit over the years. There's a lot of that stuff in there. I'm just saying. Yeah. But in the meantime, I would like to say, give us a thumbs up and follow me over to Blue Sky. If you followed me on Twitter, then you'll follow me over to Blue Sky. I'm just saying, over there. Now, I will be dual posting on Threads most of the same stuff because I use Buffer, so I'm going to but most of my interaction and stuff will be on Blue Sky because it's actually useful. It's actually very, you can actually reach people.
I can reach people on the other side. Like at night in my dreams, if I go to sleep with a notebook on my chest, I will wake up with a flip book of dirty pictures. And I don't even remember drawing them.
So there's a lot to cover today. I'm going to try and keep it high and tight. And again, these guys are high on their own farts, and watching them steamroll towards rakes is going to be a bit of a joy. Yes, Stargal has a question. Sorry, did I miss it? Stargal, you had a questiones. Where was this? I'm scrolling back, seeing if I could find it. Scrolling through the question with the Stargal's question. Where was the question again? Isn't your deletion just a copy? No. No, you download a copy of it and then you delete everything and then you deactivate the channel, and that should get rid of all the files entirely. Or I suppose you can sue them if at that point if you find they still have your shit on their server, which would be fine too, right? I'm sorry, baby girl,
if your sides ache, maybe like try some salve. I don't use it topically. I believe in drinking salve with a straw, just because it makes it easier rather than that's not good. So I'm sorry, Stargal, I missed your question in the torrent of stuff that was going on. 19 months, 19 months up in this. Thank you, Mark. Yes, we keep fighting fascists. Of course, sparklers are the best people on the planet. I agree. And thank you guys so much for the gifted memberships this morning. And Georgina, thank you for the super chat. Tobias gifted 20 memberships today. Thank you, Tobias. Holy smokes. And don't forget, kids, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. Now, where's my number? There it is. Okay, now, apparently, I don't know if you know this, but it wasn't Donald Trump that was lying about what he was going to do or telling you the truth, while other people were like, I don't know, I thought he'd be better on Gaza than the whole thing. I thought, what in the world could it be? I just assumed he'd be better because I was, Francie says, scary AF, she didn't delete her tweets. Is okay, yes, it's fine. I'm only doing it because I have a big shitload of stuff. If you just deactivate, it should be fine. I'm just triple stamping it. So fear not. You don't have to do that. You could just deactivate. I'm just being a dick about it. I want somebody there to see all my tweets just kind of being clawed away and then the account to vanish. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, now, okay. Let us continue. Lord, praise be to Jesus.
Okay, so if I may, apparently, according to this dipshit, by the way, in case you don't know this, this is what happens when you dehydrate Jesse Waters. If you leave him on your dashboard in the summertime or whatever, this is what happens to him. He goes, pew, pew. The eyebrows stay the same size, which I think is fascinating. It's all part of the toy. Now, I'm not pulling his string. I leave that up to you. But apparently the left was lying. But he doesn't seem sure about this. Were the Democrats lying? Well, the left was lying. Were the Democrats lying? Are you making a distinction between the left and Democrats? I don't know. Let's see. Because I feel like this is going to be blather. I have not pre-watched this. That's not what I do around here. Hit the like, share the show. This is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide.
Democrats, it turns out they were lying. When they said that they were afraid of a Donald Trump dictatorship, it turns out that that's nonsense. So here is Charlemagne the God saying, I noticed that you guys were calling him a fascist 5 seconds ago, and then you stopped. So what happened?
No, we didn't.
I just don't understand the White House visit. Now, granted, I'm glad it's a peaceful transition of power, but what happened to the threat of democracy talk? What happened to the fascist talk? By the way, I know I've said those things about Trump as well, but I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about his political opponents like President Biden. When they say it, it holds way more weight than me. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you go from he's an existential threat to democracy to welcome back? He was happy too.
It's not up to him. You don't have to welcome him back. He's coming in anyways. And because he's such a weak-kneed egomaniac, the easiest way to gain control on him or to slow his roll is to compliment him and be nice to him, and that puts him on his heels. Yelling at him, talking shit to his face, not letting him in, allows his viewers to think that you've set traps that are going to destroy his presidency. And so when he fails on his own, they're going to blame you. And he's going to go, like he did with Obama, I came in here and this place was a mess.
He was happy. He was smiling. He was grinning. He was cheesing. Say cheese. He was cheesing, bro.
I'm just trying to figure out how.
I just explained it. It's not heavy work. He's the president of the United States. He's held to a higher standard than the rest of us. When this happens, there is going to be a transfer of power. It doesn't matter. And keeping it peaceful versus last time is a good thing. That does not mean he's not doing other things. For example, the decision he made about Ukraine that will continue on his presidency well into Trump's presidency, unless Trump has any brains around him at all, which it clearly he does not. That's Biden was cordial to get Trump on his heels. Period. If you yell at him and you distance yourself and you do all that stuff in face to face, it's his pocket. Let me explain something. Anybody ever, if you fight a fighter, okay, one of the reasons why there's so many different Chinese styles of Kung Fu, besides, the phrase is Kung Fu is bottomless, and why there's so many like stances and this business and this business and this business, why there's so many different styles is because if it's just this, pretty much if you run into a boxer on the street and a fight breaks out and you do like this and they've taken boxing, you both default into this and you're both in your strength and you know what's coming and you know basically how to react, and it will become a matter of skill versus surprise versus overt strength, something like that. But if you do something weird, like like an Italian kickboxer or something, people get kind of they're not quite ready for it. Most people expect you to do this in a fight. That's most of the time when a fight starts, they expect you to do this. If you don't, and you do something that clearly is you in command of the situation, then you will, it confuses them. And if they're expecting you to go to spit in your face, and you're like, come on in, wouldn't you go, all right, what's up? Because this guy has total immunity until January 20th to do anything he wants. Let me just ask you a question. If he offers you a Diet Coke, do you drink it? Okay, let me put that there. Secondly, Trump is weak. He is a weak human being, and he is easily played on his ego. And right now, ironically enough, between Boris Epstein and Elon Musk, they are all fighting over who's going to have control over him. And then he comes in and he sits down with Biden. Biden's like, come on, yeah, absolutely. This is about America. It's not about the two of us. And he's like, it is? What? I know everybody wants it to be this kind of pugilistic shit, but ultimately, that's not how it's not how it's going to be, period. And again, with somebody like Trump, that's the thing that puts him on his heels. You have zero control over him if you're adversarial because he expects it and he kind of wants it. And his people feed off of it. So if you're friendly to him, everybody's like, all right, what the fuck is going on? And you set up, they're just going to be wound up in paranoia for the next fucking 2 months. And God knows how long after that, right? So let me tell you something. Yeah. There's a lot more to this. And again, right after he did it, that's when he announced that Ukraine could do this stuff. That's when he released a lot of the money from the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act for the fab factories in Arizona, that kind of stuff. Like, they're using this as kind of like, oh, yeah, dude, come on in. Meanwhile, they're, I believe, setting traps all over the fucking place. But if you act like you're setting traps, that's how they will respond. Just say it. Right? Just say it. And just because you're like, you're not going fucking fascist to his face, does not mean you're not treating it as such. One thing about Trump is that yes, he's a fascist, but he's also, he reminds me of like the dictator in the Woody Allen movie Bananas. Remember that, when he was like part of the Revolutionary Force because he wanted to like hook up with this like left-wing chick, so he ends up in fucking South America, and the guy they're supporting is the leader for the people and all that stuff, and then he stands up in front of everyone and goes, everyone will change their underwear every hour on the hour, and we will wear them outside of their pants so we can check. And then it's like, I think the power's going to his head. Trump is like that. JD Vance isn't. I don't see there a meeting between Harris and Vance in front of cameras with that whole thing, right? But it wouldn't be, again, we're seeing what the actual thing that's happening behind the scenes. And I really do feel like they know he's walking into a rake, and they're going to go, look, I don't have to sweep the leg. He's going to trip and fall on his own.
I understand President Biden believes in political norms, but damn.
That man is happy as hell to leave. He don't care. He want to go.
I'm sorry that it turns out that all of the propaganda being spewed by the Democratic networks was untrue. Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about that. She was asked whether Joe Biden apologized to Trump for calling him a threat.
Also, no, it wasn't. Little man talking to his laptop in Starbucks. What the fuck is happening here? What is this show? Honest to fucking God. You have this whole set around you. You build up all this stuff, and your whole show is a mic and a fucking laptop in front of you. Like, his whole show is irritating, like somebody who won't shut the fuck up at the library. I'm doing homework right now. I don't know if you guys know that I'm working on my bachelor's degree, but I'm in my mind I'm working toward my master's, and I think that's the important thing. Whatever, and it's very important that I speak as fast as possible. Otherwise, people will realize how fucking dumb I am.
To democracy. She's like, no. I'm going to be so glad when she's gone, because boy, is she terrible.
In the meeting, we saw a unified front related to a transition in the Oval Office meeting, but a lot was said on the campaign trail, like Trump is a dangerous threat to our country and our democracy. Was there an apology today?
I'm sorry?
Was there an apology from
President
whom? Biden for the words, some of the words used?
An apology from the President Biden.
To President-elect Trump for some of the words that was used on the campaign trail.
Look.
No. Why would there be? Let me get... all right. We're not switching pastors, motherfucker. This isn't like, move over, Jim Jones, there's a Dave Koresh coming in. That's not how it works. The country is bigger than the men involved. And if they have a dispute or they have their words to each other won't change how the other governs or who they are. He doesn't have to apologize for shit he really believed. And the country will deal with the consequences of electing that person. He doesn't owe him a fucking apology.
And I've answered this a couple of times about a threat to democracy in the past week. The president is going to always feel obligated to be honest with the American people. What we want to be also...
Nice edit there, Ben. You lazy little bastard. Look at that. What we want to do is cut out the greater context of this so that it seems like this was just her being snippy.
Very clear about is the importance of listening to the will of the American people. There was an election. It is important to respect our institution. It is important to respect the free and fair elections. And that's what this president is doing. Leading by example and putting that aside and putting the American people first. But what he said still stands.
By the way, that was Ben. Apparently the Daily Wire, where Ben does his show, has become, I would say, the poor man's Blaze, but that's what the Blaze is. It's like the Dunning-Kruger man's Blaze. No, that still applies.
And it's not just him. We should not just put this at the president.
Yeah, he's not the only one who was saying it. I was saying it a lot too and still believe it. We all do.
His own people said this. So I want to be really, really clear about that and not forget the
Yeah, tell you what, Biden will apologize right after Mike Pence does. And scene.
facts. There are facts here that we should certainly also lift up as you're asking me these questions.
Okay, so I think that the betrayal of Joe Biden's words are evident in his behavior.
No. No, it isn't. Not at all. Throughout the entire presidency, he's had the country's best interest at heart. If the voters pick this fucker, he will make sure that he comes in with as many fucking ankle bracelets on him as he possibly can. But he's not going to play into this kind of like ping pong politics just so that other people can get a dopamine hit. It doesn't work that way.
And so obviously he didn't mean what he said, because that's not the way.
I don't know. What was in the Diet Coke, Ben? I'm going to go with is there a Theta COVID strain? I'm kidding.
He's acting right now. Meanwhile, Nate.
Or am I? No.
Nature is healing. Joy Reid is leaving X. How sad. I mean, it'll be such a... The average IQ on X just increased by about 10 points. Here's Joy Reid.
Also, for the record, no matter whether they call it AGI or artificial intelligence of any sort, it's not actually intelligence in the traditional sense that we think of it anyways. So bots don't have IQs. Just saying.
Hey guys, so today I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a while.
And shows that she deactivated her account on X.
Yes, we can read. Oh, right. You're talking to your audience. Sorry. For a second, I thought you thought we needed help reading, but I'm sorry. You know your crowd better than we ever could.
And the reason for doing it
is because it's a dump and a cesspool, and even low-res back and forth ping pong politics when it happens on there benefits Elon Musk and puts money in his pocket.
Kissing goodbye my 1.9 million followers over there is because I hadn't been posting for a long time. I just didn't want to contribute content once it was purchased by its present owner. But just having it there, I was only holding on to it because I, really didn't want someone trying to take over that name and using it for nefarious purposes. I was a little bit worried about that. And also every so often I would use it to just like sort of look at news that was trending and what's happening. And I would just sort of use it as like an aggregator. But I just realized that that's not really worth it, because in order to like do the news aggregation and just look at all, you have to wade through a lot of dreck.
Can I, real quick? This is thank you, Joy Reid, for helping me make my point. Joy Reid works at a news organization. She works at MSNBC, which has behind it the entire weight of the NBC News army, everybody that works there, and the Microsoft network that allows them to communicate and tie all this stuff together, and the funding that goes with it. The idea that anybody there would reference a social media site to gain the news when it is simply, most of it, especially the breaking news aspects of it, either break straight to the news, like it's on local news and you can see a car chase on local news and that's how it ends up there, or it is posted everywhere at once so you can just kind of pull the video and it doesn't have to come from one particular site. Or even on top of that, especially when it's international news, it bank shots through Telegram or netizen channels on Weibo, the Chinese network, or that kind of stuff. So they should be able to aggregate it from all these different places. But the idea that anybody at a news organization is like finding out what's happening in the world through X is a fucking travesty. And again, most of the time, you're not finding out what's happening. The thing that happened. It's really just you're watching people's response to it. And again, the bouncing conversation back and forth. But the idea that I would use it or somebody like that as an aggregate is lame enough. And I don't. But it's fucking embarrassing if people who work at news organizations that's actually a source for them where they keep up on stuff. Because what you're really saying to me, if that's how you do it, is that you're not really keeping up on the news thing itself, whatever the fuck that is, the hurricane, the car chase, the Tesla vehicle bursting into flames and driving into a movie theater, that piece of video that's floating around or whatever, that happened. Once it happened, that's it. You have a news gathering organization around you to go find out details. You have local reporters you can send there. I don't have that. You don't. The rest of us don't have that. And the idea that what the fuck do we need cable news for if they're using Twitter as a reference? We can do that on our own. That's really fucking frightening. That's terrible. That's even a thought. That news people are like, I need to keep up on Twitter and Facebook to see what's happening in the world. Motherfucker.
And a lot of just abuse and a lot of just negativity, and it's just not worth it.
Oh, well, I'm so sad to see you go. Bye, Will. Bye. This election.
All right. This is, by the way, part of Ben Reacts. They've been trying to sauce up his content because apparently, I don't know, because he doesn't believe that the earth is flat, he's not getting the viewership he used to. The turnover's pretty fucking bad. And look, they've got plenty of money to buy views and, and I'm sure they parlay that as best they can. But in reality, it's overall, Shapiro's show is some of the lamest, weakest shit anywhere. And that's saying a lot because we've watched Pat Gray's show and Stu's show, not even Stu on Glenn Beck's show, but like Stu by himself.
Season, I've been all over the place, nonstop travel between campaign stops, media hits on other podcasts, even our very own election coverage in Nashville. I'm on the go like all the time, which means I have to do an ad right now. Yeah. He takes balance of nature. Bullshit. Look at him making balance of nature. What the fuck? What kind of homosexual shake are you making? Look at all them vegetables or whatever. What are you, a vegan, you big sissy? Good Lord. What is that? Okay. Is that avocado and raspberries? What the hell? Oh my God. I think it's either a slice of taro, a rolled up piece of bacon. Now he's Orthodox, so that wouldn't be it. Or like an entire lump of ginger. What the shit is in this? And he's breaking open the cap. What do you have? All right. Ben, you're not trying to convince people that you have a touchy gag reflex, do you? What the fuck? Use promo.
Oh, it's bananas. Avocado. That's bananas. Oh my God. The fuck is this? And these what? With no liquid. What the fuck? What are you making? Some sort of dip? Where's the liquid? Juice, water, something, motherfucker. That's nasty. That's some nasty shit. Maybe pour something in. We'll see.
For 35%.
No, that's not the same thing. And who is this guy? This is the office stunt vegan who's showing him how to use a blender. The fuck out of here. Oh, God. Honest to God, it's like there's somebody that works at the Daily Wire that makes sure that Ben doesn't lose a tip of another finger.
Off your first order as a preferred customer and get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro.
Notice they see him holding up to his mouth like that, and that's where it ends. Like, there's no, like a money shot of him guzzling that garbage, whatever the fuck it was. There's no, like, hey.
That tastes fine like buttered sausage. I like it. I've had one of them avocado, raspberry, banana with a touch of clamato. Tastes like buttered sausage. It's my favorite. What an asshole. No, we're not. Fuck Balance of Nature. No.
Balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro. Meanwhile, Eva Longoria is apparently leaving the United States as well. She says she's moving out of the dystopian United States for a brighter life in Mexico.
Yeah, again, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Is this what the show is? Just you looking at news stories and saying them out loud? And if that is the... Has Hal ever met Gary Busey? I spent the night in a haunted house with Gary Busey. Have I ever met him?
We're like best friends. We hung out a lot. I taught him about the other side, and he spoke to the ghosts on my behalf. That's a true story. Celebrity Paranormal Project. You can find it anywhere. You buy your hot buttered sausage.
True story. Let me ask you a question. If you were going to create a snide audiobook of news snippets, why would you pick the third most annoying voice on earth? I always like to hedge my bets in case there's two other voices you might hate more than his. But what the fuck for? How is that a show? And by the way, who the fuck am I to guess? He's got 7 million subscribers. I mean, what, 20% of them are real, but whatever. Still, it's a significant number of people. Right?
Oh, and Spain. I hope you enjoy the tax rates over there, lady. It's probably going to be great. So, catch you later. Oh, no. What are we going to do without Eva Longoria in the United States? Oh, no. Meanwhile, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, causing massive consternation, has now removed the she, her pronouns from her public profile, which is hilarious. Oh, man.
Yeah, hilarious. Terrific. She's also about to shut down her Twitter account, too, stupid.
So it's fun to watch as reality sets in and they realize on the Democratic side of the aisle that all of their crazy is actually quite alienating for the vast majority of Americans. Some Democrats like Ezra Klein are beginning to admit the obvious, which is that, blaming Fox News and quote unquote misinformation ain't going to fix anything.
The thing that surprised me least about the election was the sharp red shift in these big cities.
Oh, dear God. Why don't you just do Pod Save America while you're at it? You want to find the 4 people that walked us into a fucking rake?
Because if you just talk to anybody who lives in them, they are furious. And this idea that oh no, the economy is actually good or crime is actually down, or this is all just Fox News, shut the f up with that. Talk to some people who live near you.
He is correct. He is correct.
No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Because if you talk to those people and you stop at the first sentence, you'll hear they're really angry. And then you go, why? What crime around here? Have you been robbed? Is there something bad? What was the big thing that just happened here? They'll go, well, not around here, but Chicago. You're in fucking Iowa. You're in Nebraska. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't even walk down the street in fucking Chicago and you get stabbed and shot and raped at the same time. I don't know where the criminals get all that energy. Must be all them immigrants.
So maybe Democrats are going to approach sanity again, or maybe they won't. Okay, folks, I do want to do something we haven't done in a while here, just because.
Wait, you're going to start making sense now?
When an extraordinary thing happens in public life, I think that we have to point it out. I haven't done a thing I like on this show for months, maybe years at this point. We used to have a segment on the show.
What? Hang on. What'd you just say?
We haven't done in a while here, just because when an extraordinary thing happens in public life, I think that we have to point it out. I haven't done a thing I like on this show for months, maybe years at this point.
Well, look at that. Bridges are already being built, Ben.
We used to have a segment on the show. We'll probably bring it back called Things I Like.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is a perfect time to bring up your support for Matt Gaetz drugging and sex trafficking a teenager. I guess that's it, right? That's what you're going with? Or the idea that maybe Ghislaine Maxwell won't survive in jail because of what happened to her her ex or whatever. Maybe that's and so she'll go quietly. Is that the idea?
Which is kind of where we just do a fun thing near the.
Let's do it, Ben. Let's do a fun thing. Little Ben's gonna do a fun thing. Let's do a fun thing. Let's do it. You know, if you're new to fun, Ben, we'll walk you through it.
End of the show. This clip is one of my favorite clips of all time. So Mike Tyson was about to fight Jake Paul in another one of these.
What, the slap? What? Go buy another piece of wood, you fucking toddler. Really, you're gonna play the slap? That's it? This is, you're filling time with this shit? So that you don't have to talk about RFK Jr. giving everybody polio and Matt Gaetz' rape charges coming up in the next couple of weeks? Is that what we're going to do? You're just going to play like a little, you're going to start talking about Puff Daddy?
Sort of made for TV gonzo matches because Mike Tyson is 58 years old and Jake Paul is 27 years old. But Mike Tyson.
It's so funny. We have to laugh. I do agree. We are laughing at the absurd of all these things. We chuckle at these things because we're above them and they're below us, but laterally, just a little. You know, there's a slight slope, maybe even up. Who knows? At this point, it's a YouTube video.
For a 58-year-old still in crazy shape, you wouldn't want to fight him. In any case, he was doing an interview with a 12-year-old influencer, and she asked him about legacy.
Oh, okay. So he's doing the thing we're all gonna die, dust in the wind. He's doing his best rendition of Kansas's ballad.
And I gotta say, this is pretty spectacular, and I think we all just ought to take a moment and enjoy it together.
First of all, it's not spectacular. It's fucking weird. It's a bunch of nihilistic, like, hate dumping on a kid.
Well, in your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. What type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word.
Also, why is Ben on camera watching this with his weird, adoring, pursed face? And also, why is it on his laptop that he's watching it? Why isn't it... You can't maybe just a little bit of production, little bit. Maybe you don't have to. Fuck it. Minimum viable product, I guess, is what we're going for, right? And also, why, when you're happy, Ben, does it look like someone is holding a cat turd under your nose?
For ego, that's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm gonna die, and it's gonna be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big.
What? And also, what? I gotta be honest. What's kind of charmingly funny about this? For real. I gotta say, my primary reaction to it was that it was just kind of gross and that it's indicative more of Tyson's still enormous ego in all this and maybe a touch of nihilism that's been thrown in by his health problems and he's just kind of cashing in on this. Legacy isn't about you. It's about the name you leave for your children when you pass on. They were like, your grandfather was a great man, and they may treat you a little better, give you an extra 2 strides head start because the legacy of your parents meant something to them, right? That's what she means. And again, the legend of it, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about legacy. A legacy is something that affects your progeny. And he's like, I'm dust. Who gives a fuck? I'm like, well... you're talking to, well, and it gets worse, too.
So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have.
Also, why is he laughing at this? I'm dead serious. What the fuck? Look, I almost get if somebody that's like a dunk comic or just a shit stirrer, right? Thinking that's funny just because it's so dark and nihilistic. But the like Ben giggling at this, Ben, what he's saying is the hat you wear is bullshit. That's what he's saying. He doesn't believe there's a life hereafter. He doesn't believe that religion has any value. He doesn't believe that living has any value. It is an absolutely nihilistic Darwinist view of the world, and he has no and it doesn't take into consideration even whether you believe there's life beyond this or not. It doesn't take into account how your progeny react to how you behaved in your life, that you reflect on the people that come after you, that are your children, that are your grandchildren, that kind of thing, right? It's sad. Yeah, it's fucking gross. And it's sort of mean-spirited to say to a little kid. It's fucked up. And look at this asshole. Ben, what he's saying is your hat is stupid. That's what he's saying. Feel free to at me. I'm not saying your hat is stupid. He is, to a kid, and you think it's hilarious.
Not heard before someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? You think somebody really wants to think about you? I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the cares about me when I'm gone?
Again, she's a little girl. Look, I swear up a storm on this show with the understanding that my audience should be adults. But if a little kid is standing in front of me, I'm not going to go, what the fuck's your problem? What are you fucking fuck? I'm not going to do it. He's just being a dick.
And I love the hopeful 12-year-old just having her dreams crushed. And that's why I'm quoting you, Ecclesiastes.
Fuck you. Honestly, like, what value does he attribute to orthodoxy? Like, he's an Orthodox Jew and he makes a big show of it. What the fuck does that mean? Honest to God, if that's what he's selling and he thinks that's funny like that, it's one thing to think it's funny because you're just kind of like shocked and Jesus, that's hilarious that somebody would even say that to a kid, right? There's like a shock laugh you get from uncomfortable situations. That I get. It happens a lot. I mean, it's why we laugh at somebody falling down, right? People stumbling, fail videos, shit like that. But what is the moral architecture that he alleges to be? I mean, again, his hat is the same in my estimation as Mike Pillow's cross. It's fucking gang signs. Honestly, like it's just it's an in-crowd sign that I'm one of you, but it has no ethical, moral, or philosophical root to it. I mean, it might as well be a MAGA cap. It might as well be a fucking Yankees cap. You know what I mean? It has like all the value of wearing a sports jersey.
Yes, it's 3:20. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. For everything in life, there's a time. Everything in life, there's a season. For living, for dying. We don't mean nothing. We're all gonna die someday anyway. Sun's gonna explode, eat all planets. Ain't nobody gonna be around to remember you then.
Jesus Christ. This is, I think, he was like, this will be a great opportunity for me to do my Mike Tyson. When he's really just doing like a low-res pickaninny voice.
Let me just explain to you something. If you ever read some Marcus Aurelius, and let me tell you about the Stoics. So the Roman Stoics. Because let me explain.
Fuck you, dude. Why don't you, here's a good idea. I'm sure I'm sure Mike Tyson will come by, Mar-a-Lago or one of these dumps that Trump runs that smells like feet, ass, and chicken nuggets. Do that bit for Mike.
Love it. Love it. More of this.
Why? What do you mean, more of this? Why do you need adult men spewing nihilist bullshit at children who ask innocent questions? What are you talking about? Why is that a good thing? Can you imagine being this kind of lazy and depraved? Like, I've always kind of known, we've all known that, like, Ben Shapiro's just kind of a shitty human. He's just not, he's not good at humaning in the first place. He's, he's chirpy and weird and has obviously thinks all of his farts smell like, freshly baked bread. He's convinced of his own superiority. He's got all those facets that make an annoying person. And then on top of it, he's got a pinched, bitchy little cruel streak. I don't watch enough Ben Shapiro, thank God, to sort of be aware of it. And I've never seen it come out so acutely as this. But that you would fucking cheer on, first of all, an adult, like with all this fucking, their belief that they're somehow morally superior, but cursing makes the bad. That's why I catch so much shit from them. But this dude can say fuck to a little kid who's interviewing him and just wants to ask a legacy question about it, like a very normal question. And he's like, I'm gonna set you right. That's his response. That gives you an opportunity to go into some weird pocket voice you use around the office. Fucking yikes. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised. I didn't pre-watch this. This video started out as "We're Democrats lying, our Democrats lying, the left is lying." That was the name of it. And it ended on this fucking note. 3 minutes of him watching the Mike Tyson interview and cheerleading this fuck, basically telling a little girl she's dust. And not only that she's, here's the thing, not even that you're dust. Because there's an argument to be made that, live like, YOLO, you only live once, right? There's an element of, in the youth today, that they understand that, there may not be anything beyond this, so seize life while you can. Carpe diem, baby, right? That's one thing. But on top of that, what he's making the point is that what you do doesn't matter because you're dust, and your legacy doesn't matter to anything. So whatever you do here really should just be about your own hedonistic pleasures. Who gives a shit? Whether you're good or bad, you're still going to be dead in the end. So who gives a shit? The legacy aspect of it, throwing the legacy part out the window, means that the ethical, moral meaning of your life is just as useless as your carcass. Helen Wills says, just don't hurt anyone. He's not making that case at all. Listen to what he says. And the Stoics don't make the case that you are, that you're dust and that's all that matters. That they believe that the ethic survives beyond your existence and it has worth to continue it ever forward so that your progeny or those that you shape, that your life had meaning in that regard. So you didn't end it all for everybody else. Fuck everything up, right? And look at this dude. I don't know why I'm surprised, but this is a line farther than I even thought he would go. And again, I don't know what it is with, right-wing announcers and right-wing spokespeople with baby voices, none of them have a voice that gets past 8th grade. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah. like the lack of understanding of it, and of course the joy in watching a grown man. Now, granted, I don't necessarily want to go there, but it could just be that it's a black man talking to a black girl, and watching a black girl get her dreams crushed is kind of, would show up in his Pornhub results. You know what I mean? Oh, Colleen, bless you. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. My fucking God. Like, honestly, I think that's part of why he enjoys it, because he doesn't feel attached to a man telling a young girl this because they're both black. It's why he watches Charlemagne the God and thinks like the they, and then, oh, fuck, was there? Yeah, Ezra Klein was the only non-black person that he featured in this. And he only featured him because, Ezra Klein agrees with him. Everybody else in the video, including them, Karine Jean-Pierre, Joy Reid, Charlemagne the God, they're all black. Maybe that's why it's easier for him to fucking they and them human beings, like a little girl being told by a prize fighter who bit another dude's ear off in his last major fight, bit a chunk of his ear off in his last major fight, and was known for sexual assault and all kinds of other stuff, was no George Foreman, let's just say. And getting off on watching this dude go, our life doesn't mean anything. We're just fucking dust and nothing matters ultimately, and getting off on that. Look at the glee in his fucking face. It's super weird.
Mike Tyson on philosophy would be, I would listen to that show every day. That'd be amazing. I'm going to explain to you about a little bit.
This motherfucker.
Augustine and what he was saying about the city of God. I want it. I want him on Sartre. Existentialism. Let me tell you about existentialism. The idea that...
All right. Right now, the root of this joke, ladies and gentlemen, is that a dumb voice saying, talking about smart topics is something that he finds amusing. That's all. That's it. It's the standard crisscross in comedy. Yeah.
You don't mean nothing, except you walking around a cold, empty universe on a rock, on a godforsaken rock, and all you got is your will, how you react to that. That's life, man. And then you die, and don't mean nothing. I'm pitching this show for Daily Wire Plus. I am Mike Tyson on philosophy. 10 out of 10. Love it. Are you tired of the lies and the...
What the fuck is that? No, I'm tired of this shit. I don't even know what that fucking show was. Is that how that, by the way, is that how that show works? Is that what he, because every time I've ever seen him, it's just a fucking geek reading the news off his laptop loudly in a Starbucks. That's the whole show. Good. Yeah. Vocal blackface. That's effectively what it was. Yeah. I would say effectively that's what he was doing. I mean, it's just like low-res racism passing off as like an inside joke, which is what assholes think is comedy. I don't know. All my friends laugh at it. It's your fucking problem. You guys just don't know what's funny. Right. That's the reaction. Jesus Christ. What a mess. Ben, you're a pipsqueak piece of shit. Period. That's just lame. And I would dust up your choice of clips so it's not inherently obvious that you're not just dunking on black people all the time and thinking you're getting points with God knows fucking who.
hey, I think if you really think about it, like Ben thinks his name is Ben Shapiro. I'm sorry. Hot. Buttered. Sausage.
All right. So next up, by the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show.